Hey, all you mixing fans, Graham here from the recordingrevolution.com. Today I have a vocal kind of technique for you, just something to play with if you're looking for a different sound in your mix. So you want some depth and space on your vocal, you could use a delay, you could use reverb, or you could use both. And here's a fun little setup that gives you just a really eerie kind of washy sound. It's kind of fun. If you don't want the clean delay or the too much of a wash of a reverb, kind of blend the two. Here's the vocal. There's just a little bit of a room on there. But I really want to give this like maybe a spacey, airy kind of vibe. So what you could do is set up a couple of auxes, right? So I'm going to set up two auxiliary stereo input tracks in Pro Tools, and one's going to be for a delay plugin, and the next one's going to be for a reverb plugin. So I'm just going to name them accordingly. And I'm going to solo safe them so that they're always soloed. Command click if you're a Pro Tools user. Make sure they're going out to my mix bus. And then on the first one, I'm going to obviously put a delay plugin. In this case, I'm just going to get a standard stereo delay. And then what that sounds like is this. Let me go ahead and on the vocal track, I'm going to use a send to send a copy of the vocal to that delay. All right, I'll bring this up a little bit. Take a listen to what this sounds like on eighth notes. Right, it makes one identical eighth note delay. So what you could do is add some feedback so it makes more delays. Right, feeds back. And then, you could groove this a little bit, which is the same as just changing the delay setting on one side versus the other. All right, so now it has some stereo width. It's very loud, very annoying in your face. That's kind of where you want to start. Have plenty of delay. Don't turn down the delay. Don't do any high pass or low pass filtering on the delay. Just keep it straight up. And then now what we want to do is open up a reverb on this available track to the right of that. So I'm going to grab d-verb. And let's see, its default setting is probably fine. It's just a hall reverb. And instead of sending the vocal to the reverb, I'm going to send the delay track to the reverb. In fact, I'm not even going to send it. I'm just going to make its output instead of my mix bus. I'm going to literally route it to the reverb, which means anything that goes into the delay plugin, which in this case is some of the vocal, goes through the delay, and then the delay sound goes through the reverb, which then goes through the mix bus so we hear it. Right, so now you have a bit of a reverb decay on the delay. What I'm going to do on the reverb is do a little bit of a high frequency cut, low pass filter, kind of cut off some of the high end. Which is kind of cool. It washes it a bit. And then finally what I'm going to do is take the reverb track. This is getting convoluted, so excuse me if we're getting off track here. But I'm going to take the reverb track and create a send. So the reverb is going out to my mix bus, but I'm going to also send some of it back to the delay track. Okay, which can get crazy. If you do too much of this, you can create a feedback loop. But in essence, the vocal is going through the delay. Delay effect gets washed in some reverb, which we hear in our speakers. But all the while, now I'm going to send a bit of that washed reverby delay back into the delay to wash back through the cycle again. So let me turn this up a bit. I bow lower now. I bow lower now. I cast off my crown. And I'm going to go back to the original delay send off the lead vocal. I'm going to turn that down a bit. I bow lower now. I bow lower now.
cast off my crown. I bow lower now to the King of Kings.
And there you go. It's just a very specific washy, reverby, delay type sound that might suit your mix. And you can blend all of these to taste. How much delay, reverb goes back into the delay, how much vocal goes to the delay first, how much of the delay goes to the reverb. You create this circular path that you can adjust, tweak, and of course change the reverb type, reverb length, the delay, etc., etc. It might be something to build into your next mix and see if it doesn't give you that aesthetic that you want. I'll see you on tomorrow's video.